I'm John Johnson.
He is. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Indie Film Cafe Spotlight.
There's a spotlight right here. Spotlighting me.
They're spotlighting you.
You see it?
And so, anyway, we are here for the, the second episode of Indie Film Cafe Spotlight. And we've got John Johnson here.
Yay!
Hi.
And he was going to do his own, story about him and Conrad Brooks. And he promises he won't cry, but if he does, he does.
I'm going to try not to. But, so Connie and I met at a convention years ago. And it was because I was shooting a Western that Mitch Toney knew Conrad, and so he introduced us. And Connie, if you ever met him, he is a complete salesman. Like, he's just like, Johnny, buy my coffee, Johnny. And so him and I hit it off, and he told me he was worked on Plan 9 and all that kind of stuff, and so I was very excited about it. And so I drove up to meet him. He took me to his favorite restaurant, which is a hospital cafeteria. We spent some time hanging out, and I said, I've got these movies called Skeleton Key, and I'm going to shoot 4 of them. Can I shoot you for 4 movies in one day? And as the intro guy. And he said, yeah. And so I can't remember, I paid him a few $100, and we went up and we shot these 4 intros. And while we were talking, he brought up the movie Ed Wood with Johnny Depp and how they got a lot of stuff wrong. When these guys made Plan 9 from outer space, they didn't drive off into the sunset. They were literally kind of banned from they didn't get any work because they were made the worst movie ever made.
Right, they went downhill.
They went very downhill, and where Tim Burton's movie is like they rode off into the sunset and they lived forever. And so he said that to me, and I always kind of had it on the back of my brain. And I was on Skeleton Key 3, which he was obviously I shot him for, and somebody asked me if I could remake any movie in the world, what would it be? And I said I'd remake Plan 9 for Connie. And I did a text on my phone. I had a flip phone back then, and I texted out, hey, I'm going to remake Plan 9 from outer space. That's just a joke. And a week later, I was in New York, and another filmmaker called me and said, you need to go get Fangoria right now. And so I went to the Barnes & Noble, and I saw I was in Fangoria, where it said Val Kilmer doing this, John Johnson remaking Plan 9 from outer space. I was like, oh fuck.
Now you gotta do it.
Now I gotta do it.
Yeah.
So needless to say, that's another long story about me making Plan 9. But I finally got it completed, and I got it on DVD, and I got Conrad into the movie. Now the problem was Conrad was originally supposed to play Harper, because that's the part he wanted to play. He said he always wanted to be Harper from the original Plan 9. And but he couldn't travel anymore. He was too ill. And so I shut the set down. I wrote an additional sequence, and at the last day of production, we drove all the way up to West Virginia to shoot him so we can get him in the movie. Because it just wouldn't be right without him. And so we did that, and he was very taken back by our production. We had a very big production. He's not used to that kind of stuff.
Sure.
And but he did. He's been scammed so many times because Ed Wood was, one of his friends. He was like, Johnny, you got to take me to I need it in cash, Johnny. I need to get paid for this before I go on set, Johnny. Take me to an ATM. So I had to drive to an ATM, pay him in cash before he shows up, because he's the salesman. That's his thing. And So after that, he got really, really ill, and for a while he couldn't get out of bed. His family was taking care of him, and he called me up, and he was just like, "I'm not feeling so good, Johnny. I want to see the movie. Can you send me the movie?" And so I sent him a copy, and he left me a message about his thoughts on it, and he said thank you. And when he died, the he died with my movie on his bedstand, by his bed side table by his bed, and his daughter called me and was just like, I want you to know that he was so proud of what I did. So so that copy was there when he died. And I was in Jersey at another horror convention earlier this year, and I went to a rare film guy, and I was buying some movies from him because there was some stuff that was rare, and I hadn't found it. And he said, I got something special. And I was like, what are you talking about? And he brought out the copy that he went to Conrad Brooks' auction when they sold all of his stuff. And my copy that I gave him, so it's now with this rare film guy, and it's known as the copy I gave Conrad, and he's got it on display, and it's yeah.
That's sweet.
Well done, Johnny.
Yeah. Wow, that's a great story right there, dude.
That's the first time I think I've told it.
Oh wow! Well, can't wait to
the
put
whole
this
thing.
out.
I've told parts of it, obviously.
You really made his final days.
I did.
That's awesome. I mean, that's the most you can do for anyone.
And I'm sure he can you at all I don't know if you remember them or not, but where you said he had a little bit of notes or something, like some stuff that his thoughts on it. Do you remember anything specific
about
about the movie itself? Like after you watched it.
He liked me a lot.
So you liked Kelton.
He liked Kelton. He said that that's a part he wanted to play, which he originally said Harper. And he's like, but now he changed it to Kelton. And I told him that I was going to keep playing Kelton in other stuff because Paul Marco had done it in other films as well. And I was like, I'm going to take up the mantle and keep going. And he said that it was an honor to have he basically gave me his blessing because Marco's dead. I had him shot. But
the mantle.
to take the mantle of Kelton. And that's why I can't ever stop playing Kelton. I have to find ways to keep working him in because it's a huge honor to carry the mantle of those two guys, Connie and Paul. And yeah.
Now we saw the Manos teaser and everything, which is another movie that you're remaking from Plan 9.
Yeah.
Kelton is back for that?
It's a sequel to Plan 9.
It's a sequel to Plan 9. That is so kind of cool.
Yeah,
I think I said something about that.
We
I
wondered
think
about that
I said something
it.
about that when I showed the thing, is that it feels very Plan 9.
Right.
Yeah.
We both said that.
And with the whole just the radio stuff,
Bossman Mike.
Bossman Mike.
Now it's a backdoor sequel, so essentially you could watch this movie and not have seen Plan 9.
Right.
So it'll be standalone on itself. But if you know Plan 9, you're going to get a lot of Easter eggs. But it'll be its own thing.
Well, that's all I can say is that's just fabulous. I mean, I don't have an experience quite like that, but the guy I have always loved ever since I was a kid and started watching crappy movies is Ray Dennis Steckler, and I got to go out to Vegas and interview him. As it turned out, it was 6 months before he passed away, and I was extremely pleased and I feel blessed because once these guys go, they go. That's it.
Yeah, it's over.
There's so few of them left now, and all the stories that they have about how these movies are made and the things that happen. I mean, it kills me to think that they're just going to vanish. But people like you and other folks who are able to capture that and keep people going and keep the stories going. It's just great. And it's like
I have another one that I have not told anyone yet.
Cool.
I said I was going to do Manos before I did the teaser trailer, and I got contacted by the little girl from the original movie, and who's not a little girl anymore, Debbie. Just cut this part. I forgot her last name, but she contacted me, and her father was the master.
Right.
And she sent me a very sweet letter thanking me for being respectful and giving Manos the Plan 9 treatment. And I talked to her, and she also makes the Manos outfit. Like, she makes them and sells them. And I was like, will you make one for the teaser trailer? And so she actually hand sewed the Manos,
That's cool.
or the Master's outfit, and she sent me a really nice letter, and told me that her dad just recently passed, and she really wishes he would have seen what I'm doing, and she was super sweet and super nice, and I'm gonna put her in the movie, just like
Yay.
Conrad.
We had just did a movie, the Bigfoot movie, that she actually popped into.
Oh yeah?
And we talked about her. That was a couple podcasts ago. And we mentioned the fact that there were other Manos movies, but they either weren't released or they weren't out there
Yeah,
yet.
she mentioned that. She was involved in some of them, and she said her exact words were, "I'm glad someone's actually doing it right."
Exactly, and that's kind of where I was going at, is that at least we know when you're doing it, this is a movie that's going to get finished and released.
Yeah. Well, we have to raise the money, but hopefully that will come. I think it'll come to be. But yeah, so once again, I'm now making the movie for one of the original creators who was, kind of shunned.
Legacy.
Yeah. And it's a part of I'm actually calling it the Bad Flick Trilogy. So there will be a third part that will be the end of the trilogy.
You just don't say what it is yet.
I'm not going to say what it is. One, I haven't completely decided. But I will say one of the main ones I'm thinking about is the Terror.
Oh
Terror?
gosh, yeah.
Oh.
Jack Nicholson and Boris
Isn't that
Karloff.
Roger Corman did that?
There was I think 5 directors.
Yeah, it was filmed at just the same lot around the same time that they had filmed this other film, and they were like, "Well, we've got this for like 3 more days. Let's just make another movie."
Yeah, well, they kept shooting more of it and keep getting shut down, and so then they would pick it up again. And so literally, who directed the film was Roger Corman, I think Dario Argento, Jack Nicholson, and I can't remember the other 2. They weren't anybody as notable, but like they would literally shut the movie down, and then they had all this footage. And like, oh, let's try it again. But the only problem is they would rewrite it every time they would shoot again, so it was like a different movie every time.
Oh, that's really
I want to see that now.
You never seen The Terror?
No.
Oh, it's got Dick Miller and Jack Nicholson and Boris Karloff.
Oh my god, that sounds wonderful.
But the problem is, and we might be at odds with this, but it's one of the most boring films
It really is.
ever created. And
Right.
that's why I never brought it forth, because
It is
Right.
boring.
it's
I still have to see
Watching
it just to
paint
see
dry.
it.
Well,
but-
for the legacy behind it,
Yeah,
Right.
right.
it's worth watching.
Okay.
And it's definitely the lead of the third film.
Would
And
you
all-
do it just like that, or would you put your own like?
Oh, my own thing. I would, of course. Just the way I did Plan 9 and the way I'm doing Manos.
Yeah.
But also, we decided that these are holiday films. The first film, Plan 9, was Halloween.
Halloween.
Manos is Christmas.
Nice.
And the third film will be Leap Year.
Nice.
Because I've never seen a leap year horror film.
Of course, you're going to have to find like Napoleonic war costumes if you're going to.
Well, yes and no. But I'm not going to get into that yet.
Okay.
But I have a thing. But yeah, so Manos is a backdoor sequel, so it stands alone on its own. But also, if you've seen Plan 9, you're going to catch all the Easter eggs.
That's cool. Outstanding.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Well, great. Thanks very much for letting us know about all this.
Yeah,
This is
that's
cool.
really
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah, like I love that, like the little stories that people haven't heard yet.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. Those are what I look for. When we're in.
Yeah, this was my first, because we just released the Manos trailer, and I haven't done the official publicist push. So this is my first interview on the Manos.
There you go, and you're getting it here at Indie Film Cafe Spotlight.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness! I was gonna put this out in like was it? No, wait, is it coming up? I'm trying to remember when I did the last one, but usually I try to release them once a month or whatever.
Yeah.
But I may do this a little earlier because
Sure.
just to get this out. Because
Sure.
I think this is definitely a great, interview. You know, like I think this will be something.
I think I was fantastic.
Yeah, I think
I
people.
think so too.
Yeah, I mean, just nailed this
I mean,
one.
you didn't have a gobbling turkey head made out of paper mache, but we'll let it go this time.
And you got tears out of me.
Yes, we got tears out of you. Like
You got
real
tears out of me.
Real
Yeah.
tears.
You got
Real
tears
tears.
out of me.
So you got Manos coming
Yep.
out. You also mentioned before on the podcast that we did that you got a couple movies that you're putting out.
Like 10.
Like 10 movies, just a couple.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
So one of them is Alucard.
Well, it's probably going to get retitled. Because of the fuckheads in Scandinavia.
And Rifters. That's the one you showed me, right? The last time I.
Oh, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really like that one.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of work being done in the visual
Yeah,
effects
there
department.
was stuff that you said had to be cleaned up.
Oh, sure. But yeah, no, that should be sometime
It looked
next
like
year.
fun. It looked really, really cool.
It's a sci-fi action film.
Especially with the whole like the cannonball thing.
Yeah, and the
that
first
was
10
really
minutes,
neat.
they travel through the 40s, the future, the Civil War, and the 80s.
Right, that was cool.
In the first 10 minutes.
It
Nice.
was really
Yeah.
cool.
Well, that sounds awesome. And then you've got let's see, yeah, as you said, Alucard might get
Retitled.
And then you've got Darknet.
Yeah, the Darknet, that's completely in the can. That is the next film that I'm working on is The Fright Before Christmas, which is being sped to be shot the weekend of December 7th, and it's going to be on Amazon before Christmas. Immediately after that, I go to finish The Darknet, as in edit it.
Okay, good. I was in the seventh guest, I believe, right?
Yes,
that was
Seventh Guest is in a weird holding state right now because there's rights being talked about for a bigger budget film, and so they don't know what to do with us at the same time, so they're in this weird limbo. Right now is definitely the best time to be an independent filmmaker.
Right.
The resources that you have are amazing. And when I first started in like 95, like my first feature film was called Fear Fighter, and I had shot it before Kevin Smith and Robert Rodriguez and Tarantino made the independent film very popular.
Right.
And we shot our film, and we had no resources at all. We had we were shooting on VHS, but then then the indie scene blew up, and now but back then you didn't have anything.
It was you and Todd Sheets and people like that.
Yeah, there was
Tempe people.
the Tempe people. Yeah,
Yeah, they were doing Full Moon. Full Moon was doing it back then.
they had a little bit more money though.
Yeah, they did.
They weren't as they had I think their average movie they did with Paramount, they had about $1 million of budget.
Chris Seaver was doing a lot of stuff like that back
Was
then.
he?
Yeah, he was shooting his own like feature films in his backyard.
Yeah, that's what I did with Fear Fighter. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, in '95 or whatever, he made in '96, I think it was. He made a movie called From Almost Night to Almost Day.
Okay.
Right?
From Dusk Till Dawn.
Yeah, From Dusk Till Dawn, and it was very much like he had just only the script had gotten leaked online, so he was going by the script or whatever, and kind of just doing his own like parody of it.
That's a good idea.
Have you seen Sex Squatch?
Sex Squatch.
That's a Chris Seaver movie.
We have to.
I have not seen Sex
I have
Squatch.
got to show you Sex Squatch. It is a joy.
It sounds like I'm missing this from my life, and I need to have it. I need to see Sex Squatch.
Definitely am going to share that with you. It is. Yeah.
I'm
You
excited.
must see.
There's a lot. You'll be. I think Paul will try to keep you up to date on these.
I'm all about it.
Stinky movies.
I'm all about it.
And stuff. All right. Well, thank you, Johnny. This is awesome. You really definitely have had a life of film that and a lot of your stuff is getting re-released and getting put out and everything. So a new generation of fans can.
Oh,
come
very
and
much.
see you. TikTok. See, there you go.
And you're inspiring a lot of folks like us.
Yes, you're inspiring filmmakers to go out there and actually get these movies done and made, and we love you, Johnny. So
Oh, thank you.
thank you so much for everything, and hope everything just keeps going, dude. Because like it seems like every time we talk to you, you got something new going on. So
Yes.
Yay.
Yeah.
So
Well, thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, and everybody check out. I guess you have a new website. Can you plug
Same
that?
website. It's darkstone-ent.com. But a beautiful woman named Weedot is her TikTok name. Also goes by Carrie. Redid our website, made it fantastic. It's
Yay.
beautiful. It's more interactive. It works on phones. She is Weedot Art. So if you want to check out her work, you can go to Weedot Art. I think there's even a link on our Darkstone page. But it's now very much more interactive. It's easier to go through. It works on Mac. It's everything. So yes, go there and masturbate.
Yes.
Sweet. Well, I've been looking for a new place to masturbate.
It's a good place.
Oh, there you go. Well, thank you so much, Johnny.
Thank
This
you.
has been an awesome interview, and hope you guys liked it. I hope you liked our second episode of Indie Film Cafe Spotlight. Join us. We'll do more of these. We'll try to do these at least once a month.
Yes.
Coming up, and
I believe in them.
yes.
Yeah, John's going to handle stuff out on the West Coast. I'm going to try and handle stuff on the East Coast.
Yes.
Sweet.
So more stuff with Johnny, with Paul, and I'll try to bring as many people as I can that are B-movie lovers.
I will be your Joey Bishop to your Johnny Carson.
Outstanding.
That sounds wonderful.
And I'll be the Dean Martin.
There we go. There we go.
Yeah, all right. Well, thank you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it.
Stay in
Bye.
drugs and eat your school.
Bye.
Okay. Bye.